We're back, and apparently we're going to have a Clint Eastwood episode because here he is. Clint Eastwood. He's ready to do the Alpha Male Betamax A to Z. He's ready for Sudden Impact. If you care, Sudden Impact is my favorite of the Dirty Harry movies. I think there were 5. Dirty Harry, there was Magnum Force. I can't remember. Oh, God. Magnum Force. I can't remember. I really can't remember. What a brain I have left. Sudden Impact and then Deadpool. There's a 1 or 2 I'm missing, and for some reason I'm absolutely blanking on what they were called. Whatever. Here's Sudden Impact. This is, of course, famous for they're stealing in a cafe. He comes back in, and the guy's like threatening, I think, one of the hostages, and he pulls out that big hand cannon, and he goes, "Go ahead, make my day." And he's got this face on like he's just going to tear this guy a new one. Great, great stuff. Love it. And not to mention, in this movie, the world premiere of the 44 mag Auto Mag. My understanding is you don't see a lot of those because they didn't work very well. The bullets would get caught in the sort of the automatic, however that delivers the bullets through the clip, whatever that system is called, they would get jammed in there. Hey, get back in the box. This one, you know, as far as the Sudden Impact, so I love that tagline, right? Go ahead, make my day. And even the president at the time, Ronald Reagan, used it. Funny to me anyway. And this is basically a revenge movie. So Harry is still working for the San Francisco Police Department. There's a couple of murders. But you know what? I think he gets in trouble. If I'm remembering, I haven't seen this in a while. I think he gets in trouble, you know, like the cops do in these kind of movies where the chief chews their ass. And then he goes up north, and then there's people dying up there, and he starts sort of working the case without the supervision. And it turns out there's a woman there that wants revenge on people who wronged her. And so he's got to unravel that. So as far as the Dirty Harry movies, that's a good one. Well, what do we got here? Vietnam. Let's see what this says. Year of the Pig. All right. And it says Vietnam in the Year of the Pig. Black and white, approximately, what does that say? 105 minutes. So, I mean, are we talking about a documentary here? There's that famous Fayetteville, North Carolina sticker. Maybe this isn't the same guy. Maybe they just happen to have gold stickers made up. And back in the old days, if you wanted a sticker like this, by the way, you had to go to like a actual store that did printing and fill out an order, and then they would print it and get it to you in about 4 weeks. Man, wild times. Now you can just do it yourself at your home computer. Or like most people do, go to work and do it. Here it is, Tightrope. I told you it was a Clint Eastwood episode. This one is actually not one of my favorites. It's sort of like the latest Indiana Jones, which was Dial of Destiny. You have this whole movie, but the point is he's going in to steal a Soviet super fighter jet. They don't get to the fighter jet stuff until the last 10 or 15 minutes of the movie. And that's sort of what the Indiana Jones movie did. You didn't see the Dial of Destiny until the last 10 minutes, and then they had to rush through it. That's what he's trying to do. I haven't seen this one in a long time. I think I need to refresh on that. Looks like it was a rental. I don't know what that says. Probably don't open this. With that number there and stuff, that had to have been a rental. Even look at that, it's disintegrating. What a shame. Is that little piece floating around or something? Yeah, it is. It's actually disintegrating. That's why these things need to be taken care of. They're not going to be here much longer. Actually disintegrating. Some people will say, who cares? They'll be in another format. Well, you're right. But it is still, some of us think these things are a work of art and beautiful. I would be in one of them. Here's almost wrapped. What the hell does that say? Steve McQueen and Tom Horn. Yeah, I mean, the sides of this and up here are all sealed. And this is the kind of plastic I would assume you'd find on a factory. Tape like this. It's a big box. There you go. Let's see what we got here. When he rode into Wyoming in 1900, Tom Horn was already a legend. He'd made his name through many diverse accomplishments, not the least of which was the capture of the brilliant Apache General Geronimo. But he'd also helped lay track for the railroad, divert a stagecoach, mined silver, won rodeo championships, served with Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders, and worked as a Pinkerton detective. Boy, that makes me feel lazy. And eventually he headed up to Wyoming, where he almost single-handedly cleared the state of cattle rustlers. Well, you know what? I'd watch that. Sounds fun, right? He's stealing cattle. Can't show you the tape because it's mostly sealed. Well, there's a piece of tape there too. I don't know. This thing is so, these bigger boxes are so fragile, I'm going to leave whatever they did with that. I'm sure it was an act of preservation, right? The king of the late 70s, mid 80s, Dudley Moore, Arthur himself. Unfaithfully Yours, don't know what it's about, but he looks like a music writer with a knife. Let's see what we get here. You know what? All right, let's see. Oh, Natasha Kinski. She was always like sexy lady. Let's see. 1984. He's a man with everything, fame, wealth, and a very gorgeous wife. But in this very entertaining comedy, the man with everything gets a disastrous case of jealousy. Dudley Moore is devastatingly funny as a world-renowned conductor who comes to believe his ravishing Italian starlet wife, Natasha Kinski, is having an affair with young, handsome Armand Assante. As he broods on the alleged infidelity, he desperately and insanely plots revenge. And as Moore cracks up, so will you. His fine comic performance combined with Kinski's sensuous elegance, I told you, strike an entertaining balance between the antic and the romantic. So what does that mean? Like antics? That's the antic and the romantic. Get it? It's Unfaithfully Yours and Unforgettably Funny. So it's a comedy. I guess I'd watch that. There's one of these. Boy, I don't know what's going on in there, man. That's some dark hole there, sir. I don't smell anything funky in there. Obviously a rental, because there's the sign of it, right? Oh yeah, here you go. What does that say there? I will attempt to read that. I see a phone number. Security label cassette. And what does that say? Video. Problem is I can't read it. In Video Environment Plus. Well, anybody knows where they were? Oh, wait a minute. Does that say Albany, New York? That's where they are. 458-2717. Somebody call them. Find out if they're still there. I tell you, I want to get a hold of one of these mom and poppers. I want to hear their experience. Let's see what that. Here's another one. Boy, this is the also. There's the other part to that Vietnam tape series. It looks like Time of the Locust. Really not much to see there. And I suspect with the amount of quality, I can just see right there about how small the tape deck is, that probably was made on the cheap. And here's another one in the series, The War at Home. So these are probably just Vietnam footage, and then sort of loosely say what's going on. I think the definitive one now is Ken Burns. I'm not sure. But I mean, that deserves a look, right? The least we could do. Okay, Seize the Day. Never heard of it, but here's HBO Canon Video. So did this go straight to HBO? Don't know. Robin Williams in a rare, unforgettable performance. What was the performance? Boy, that's small print. I'll try. Robin Williams shines in a powerful role in the screen version of Nobel Prize winner Saul Bellows' acclaimed novel. Tommy Wilhelm's life is falling apart. He's quit his job and can't find other work. His marriage has failed. His investments have gone south or sour. I can't read that word. He trusts the wrong people with the little money he has left, and he's rejected by his own father. Quite simply, Tommy is a portrait of a failure, backed by a superb cast that includes Jerry Stiller, you know him from Seinfeld, Tony Roberts, that's the self-help guy, and Joseph Wiseman. Williams handles this challenge in part with stunning command and the perfect balance of pathos and humor. A penetrating story of a man drowning under the weight of his own existence. Seize the Day as a milestone in modern filmmaking. I don't know, man. They're saying a lot without saying anything. But I do like those old HBO movies. They are the gold standard. I mean, 1986, there's no way this was in a movie theater. Or if it was in one. This really smells like a straight to HBO. Don't know much about it. Seize the Day. He looks like an old reporter or something. What year does this take place? I don't know. Now here is South Pacific, and a friend of mine saw me with this and then said, we're going to watch South Pacific. And boy, is this thing long. Looks like it was a rental. It's got the fancy box there. I mean, what more are you going to say about it? I'm even struggling to remember what it was about. South Pacific. It's a musical, so you know. And I think this is the wash that man right out of my hair thing he does. Whatever. Well, it looks like we got a couple more Sweet Frost here. Saving Grace. Now, boy, do I remember something about that. I can't remember. And this is, you know, a rental, so. I don't know. Secret of My Success. Now, what a shame that I don't have the box for this. This is loose. Maybe one day I will. Michael J. Fox. Oh, there you go, video. Michael J. Fox goes to New York to make it big. I think he's in the mailroom, but then is also posing as an executive in an empty office upstairs, and then he meets his aunt, and then he starts having an affair with the aunt, but he doesn't know it's his aunt, not by blood. Otherwise, you know, I don't think the movie would have got made. And then I don't remember what happens. He falls in love with a chick at the office too. And it's just a bunch of hijinks, but it's fun. And that movie, this is the movie where you hear that, Bow bow. Chick-chicka. Bow bow. Chick-chicka. That's the movie where I remember hearing that for the first time. Ah, the Thief of Baghdad. Look at the fancy case that this is in, sir. Roddy McDowell, Planet of the Apes himself. Excuse me while I wet my whistle here to keep talking. Don't know anything about this. I don't know. That looks like a magic carpet. Look at that. Right to the nines on this one. Oh, I keep hitting that tripod. There's no room here. Rated G. Uh-oh. It's usually the sign I'm not going to like it. Roddy McDowell, Peter Usrov, Terrence Stamp, he's good. That's Zod from Superman. And he also is the Collector in this movie of the same name. And he was really good at Last Night in Soho. I like that guy. I wish he was doing more films. I can't, that print is too small for me to read. This is the last one, so. There you go. Thief of Baghdad. What is that? Video Gems? I wonder who makes these. That tape, it looks like it was a rental. There's that sticker right there. I can't read it. A light in here. What does that say? I think it just says something TV. Oh well, we'll never know. Maybe one of you at home knows. Because you can actually see it. I can't. I'm looking at the tiniest screen. So that's it for that one. Thank you very much for watching. And we will continue at a later time.